Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn. It's 1:53 on the clock. 1 is the Magician and 53 is the Knight of Swords, the Messenger of Truth, perhaps the Knight in Shining Armor, you never know. So there's a lot of power in that message just there, the Magician and the Knight of Swords. A lot of communication coming in. So I have 3 messages of the day, a union read and twin flame read. I'm going to show you the pictures in the order that I'm going to give them to you. Okay, so the first message of the day is here. And this is from the Metatron deck. That's Amanda Ellis. That'll be the first message. The second message of the day is here. And then the third message of the day is this one. This was actually done yesterday. I'm going to do the ones from today first. This is from yesterday. And then, of course, the union read here, which is the, sorry, that's not the union read. The union read here, which is the feminine on the left, masculine on the right, the bridge between them in the center, the incoming divine feminine, the outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energy, closing energies. This is from the Syrian Starseed deck. And then here is the other general reading for the twin flames. It's just a lot of general energies, whereas the other one is more about the physical union and the bridge to physical union. And this is the full 7-deck read in front of you on the table, and all the energies that come up with that. It was very interesting what little pictures came up in the reads today. And see if I can show you that. I don't know if I have that on this other one. Let's see. Yeah, so both of these pictures came up in the reads today. This one was very significant because of the Magician's wand there. This was the energy of, sorry, I'm trying to clear that up. This was the energy of this person, like Sleeping Beauty, refusing to wake up or get up and hiding something. And this is the Magician finding it, like pushing her out of bed and finding what he was looking for. So that was very significant, as well as this other picture that came up. What's this here? Yeah. So this also came up in one of the messages of the day. You see the half of the masculine, the half of the feminine from 2 different perspectives, like the 2 sides of the same coin, and there is a telephone next to them as well. So that was kind of interesting coming up today as well. And the 28, which is the twin flame energy. And then the 5 was on the mature man there, which is expansion and change. And expansion, change, and freedom. So that was very interesting. Those pictures were coming up. And what else? Let's see if there's anything interesting. No. And I could show you another picture of my blue jays, but you probably had enough. Here's just one of those, another one with the 4 birds in it from yesterday. That was really beautiful. I don't know how well you can see it here, but yeah, they're just so beautiful. They always make me feel good. I haven't seen them today, but they ran out of the seeds yesterday, so they might be taking a break from eating or going somewhere else to find food. Yeah, reminder about the 2 sides of the coin, which is all about attachment and resistance, right? You don't want to resist or attach to anything. So somebody was just bringing up labels, and again, if you have a resistance to label or an attachment to label, that's where the issue is, not that there are labels. It really doesn't matter, right? If we're not doing labels, then we can't exist in this environment right now, because then you wouldn't have a name. We wouldn't be able to communicate with each other, right? Because we can't communicate psychically yet. So it is what it is. So let's take just a quick deep breath here, just to get a little bit of clearing here with the sound. Another deep breath. Allow healing to come in as well. You might want to imagine a hand above you streaming in that golden white light, healing you. Another deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings to you guys. And thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you're having an amazing day. It's a beautiful sunny day outside here. Let me roll the die and then we're going to get right into these messages. This is for the twin flames for today, which is November 9th. So remember, November 9th is the reflection of 9/11. That'll come up in the read as well. For the twin flames, we have the number 3, which is the coming together in joy. It is Gaia and the social energy, the energy of the Empress and abundance. We also have Aries over here, the ram. And we have it looks like the number 4, but that's Jupiter. So there's expansion here, benevolent energies, and that references Sagittarius, which is still at the north or the south node, releasing Sagittarius. So Sagittarius may be coming up with its beneficial influence, showing you how some things, even though they're good, can be too much and that you need to release it, right? So sweets and things like that, which are really yummy, right, and good, and they're not necessarily going to kill you or do anything bad to you if you eat it in moderation, right? But too much of a good thing is always a bad thing, right? Even if it's good. The Aries energy of like the first out, very aggressive, headstrong, and then the 3 of coming together and bridging these kind of energies, which may be in conflict with each other. And they're 2 fire signs, plus the 3 of the Empress, which is also Taurus. And that can be very stubborn too. You know, you have Aries and Taurus next to each other. They could butt heads very easily. And then you have the releasing of Sagittarius of too much abundance, right? And Taurus loves luxury. So there's too much luxury here. And maybe some stuff has to go. Maybe someone needs to have a garage sale or just get rid of some of the stuff in the house. That can be also attachment and resistance, right? Someone who's attached to their stuff, of having too much stuff. Or is it just the things in their house that they love? Do they spend a lot of money on one item because they want the piece that makes them feel amazing, which is nothing wrong with that. But there could be a need to purge anything that you're too attached to or resisting. Maybe you need to take in what you're resisting too much. So this first message of the day, and today is the 9th, again, the 11-9 of the 9/11. And so again, the 9/11 is emergency energy. And so 11-9 is the undoing of that. It's kind of the unraveling. It's kind of like the untying of the knots, which came up in today's read as well. The 9 of the Hermit, the day's energy adds up to 25-7, which is the Knight of Wands, which is that, you know, the energy of the knight, not the knight in shining armor, but the guy who's more... the sexy guy who rushes in to sweep you off your feet, that kind of energy. But also has to do with just getting busy about something you're very passionate about, whether it's working out or doing something that you feel very strongly about, getting things done around the house, just being motivated. And the Hermit, which is going within and isolating. So the kind of contrasting energy, maybe you're doing a little bit of both today, hermiting and getting out there and getting your errands done. So this first message, and this was from the Metatron deck, because I always pull these in the morning. If it's just a message from me, I won't share it with you, but if it's more of a collective message, I'll share it with you. I have been getting some amazing messages from this deck. So yesterday it was coming up as the pink and gold energy, and today it was coming up more as, and I'm sorry, the day before was pink and gold, and then yesterday was gold and blue and indigo. And today again was reminding us of the pink energy of compassion and self-love again in the underlying energies. But today's colors were coming up as green and red, like Christmas colors, and silver and gold, which is very Christmas, right? So there's definitely cool messages about Christmas coming up here. So it was coming up as the fall. Again, we're going from the fall into the winter, which is the time of dying. The flower of life comes up here, which I reviewed yesterday in a very technical way, and the toroidal field, and the energy of the rose line being described as the energy of the toroidal field, where the 2 circles meet and then cause that eruption of energies, the 0 point energy, where the quantum leap occurs, the point of creation. So if you didn't watch yesterday, you might want to watch the beginning of the video. The first half of the video has a lot to do with that energy. And the flower of life, the drawings of the Holy Grail being the Y in the road, but it's also the tree, and how you relate all these same things in life to each other. And the same thing happens over and over again with many different shapes like fish and flowers. And what else have I referenced before? Well, anyway, you get the idea. So the flower of life came up here, as well as the shell, and it's fanning, like an oyster will be more ripply as opposed to a smooth clam. It was coming up as the ripply shell. And conch shells have been coming up a lot here too. But this one was about the flower of life, and then the shell fanning, like the bluebird did in my picture yesterday. And then the leaf going to the blue and green feathers here. The leaf is very orangey and fall, like moving into the winter of those blues and greens of the cold colors. So the first card out was about water, and the second was fire. And the waters was dolphin energy, and the fire is the dragon energy in this deck. And then the silver card, and then the Sandalphon came up, who's the 22 of the Fool and the Fool's Journey. And Sandalphon comes up as very much an artistic, creative, soft energy, as opposed to a warrior-like energy. The silver is coming up with the Union, and Karma is coming up with the 28, which is the choice of path or the twin flame energy. And then the duality card came up, but these are all upright cards, but the duality card came up reversed because the past 2 days it's been coming up upright, which means we're in need of balancing, whereas today the imbalance is being corrected with the 23 of the King of Wands, who he may be reversed today, which would be a fiery guy who's not in his positive energy today, or perhaps he's just tired. And then communication with the 5, with the dimensional gateway, the passion, priorities, the ancestors, having gratitude for the answers, and perhaps the answers and the ancestors, and then looking forward towards your children in front of you, which we also talked about yesterday. Going into the green, which of course is the heart, and the Knight of Cups coming up here, and the energetic exchange with your ancestors, those in the past as well as your children, and connecting with your children. How did you know them before? How did you know your family in the past? And what family in the past do you not know about that maybe you want to meet in the outer realms or in meditation? Transformation happening here with yellow, and then red were coming up, but what's the missing piece there, right? The orange is in the middle. That's the sacral energy. And again, the yellow and red is kind of like the gold and red, but also the green was coming up as Christmas colors here. The red and yellow, and then gold was the next card. So red and yellows and golds and silvers. And then to review after all that and set boundaries every day, and then go forward with your day conquering fears and have your dreams come true. Be patient, right? Go within, know your abilities, and allow for the epiphanies to come. So the dolphin is the water energy, and the fire dragon. They are coming together to meet Excalibur, the Lady of the Lake, under false light or circumstances. The Sandalphon energy of the Fool is with you, right? The open-hearted Fool, the very loving one, who's very much in their faith, ready to take that leap of faith, that quantum leap. And the electromagnetic grid coming up here, but it was also M, and the Palladians call their feminine god Imana. So I always see that, people can spell it differently, but I always get it as E-M, like M, like spelling out M. Imana, like E, man, A, right? E-A with man in the middle, which is, for me, E and A can be emotional attachments, they can be arts and entertainment, right? The creative side of life. So the electromagnetic grid and the twin dragon here become balanced here by receiving the truth, untying the knots of karma, and coming out of duality again, right? Which are the two sides of the coin, becoming one again. In a message in a bottle, speaking emotions, speaking from your heart to be heard in the Christed gateway that you're always invited to, which is the gold. To the heart fire, the passion of the Knight of Wands, which today's energy is the Knight of Wands, right? That passionate, motivated energy who has a love for life, right? They're a fire sign who's really motivated to move. And then gold wings kept coming up within this read. And the Iron Cross for me is the cross between the wings and the spine, because that's where one of the pain points I had from my back injury. The Iron Cross, which also the Celtic cross came up as the spaces between within the toroidal fields when they come together, and that was a technical drawing I did a long time ago. But again, the Iron Cross with the gold wings, so very focused on your wings and your back, and also the structure between your wings and your hips, right? They should be balanced, as well as your shoulders with your wings. The hips were coming up, but then the yellow is coming up, which is more about your waist, which is the center of your spine there, which I also got another download last week or the week before to focus on the yellow in order to correct the yellow, which then collapses the whole thing, right? So that's the center point. So to focus on the healing in the middle, and it will collapse all of it to the middle. So again, focusing on the wings again, very much here, and the yellow and the gold of the crown as well. And then Trinity was coming up again because, as you know, my translation for Trinity is tri, ni, tai. Tri, the ni of a show of passion or a show of power. And then the ty, of course, is thank you and gratitude to your ancestors. The Knight of Cups healing heart, alchemizing the dark with the light, with the yellow and red, which again becomes orange in the middle. The blending of the Magician and Excalibur, the truth of the life essence and the shamanistic earth and their magic, right? So there's magic in the truth and your life essence as a human, your soul, and the earth's energy. That's where you get the shaman connection. You're both expressing magic through connecting with each other. And then the pollinating of the bee and the flower, that you must first be safe and secure before you go around pollinating other people, right? With the womb here, which is the place of creation, that 0 point, and the plenty of gold, meditating, setting boundaries, and then going about your day, conquering your fears, along with Sandalphon helping you create and giving you healing. The energy of the first column was about softness and flow and water and music, the harp energy, and Sandalphon coming up there. So I put on some Sangaya music that I have, the note of B, which was really funny because it sounded like a bee. And this first column was all about the ocean and the beach, where land meets sea. And also the Sangaya music was coming up also. It was very much about the whales and the dolphin sounds. Going from the leaves to the feathers, and birds of a feather here flock together, with a priority being the chakra system and keeping your wings open, and Sandalphon and very much energy there. Then the dragon energy comes up here with the pyramid, which is the masculine energy, and the electric grid. And right as I wrote electric grid, my lamp literally flickered. The light flickered, and then the Christ, it was bringing up the masculine energy of the electric versus the magnetic, but here was being plugged in to the electric grid, the Christ energetic exchange with ancestors healing and gratitude, and Sandalphon here. So again, connecting an energetic exchange with Sandalphon and Christ as your ancestors, allowing them to heal and giving them gratitude in return, and can go both ways. The weight of the divine masculine on the angel's wings. Sandalphon comes up as 22 and Christ comes up as 33 in this deck, which is the Fool's Journey, and then the Christ vibration, which is that unconditional love. And as I've expressed over and over again in the past couple months, we've been on the Wounded Warrior's journey, which is the human coming into human form. You start out as the Wounded Warrior, so that was the Wounded Warrior's journey, right? That's the flame journey, that's the fire. And then we go to, as you awaken, you become the Fool's Journey with an open heart and a leap of faith, as opposed to the Wounded Warrior, right? World War I and all that kind of stuff, which comes up here. And then we end up in the 5D, which is that unconditional love, which is no longer a journey because now you're at 0 point. The Chariot on the Fool's Journey of freedom of the Queen of Swords, Wounded Warrior, Widow, grieving the Wounded Warrior's path, right? So this is the Queen of Swords, is the one grieving the soldier that went off the war and got killed or never came back. And the destined twins here to that unity Christ vibration, which is unconditional love, but that's the third part of the journey, right? The Wounded Warrior is the human in the 3D, going to the Fool's Journey, taking a leap of faith with an open heart in that quantum leap to the 5D, which then becomes the unconditional love period. So the twins are destined to the Christ unity consciousness vibration and energetic exchange with their ancestors that began with the divine masculine Christed union when the sword came out of the stone, where there is no more duality, with a love for life and heart healing. The red and green, which the red is the root chakra, the green is the heart, right, which is the lower chakra system, the first part of the journey, the wounded warrior, the King of Wands reversed, the Knight of Wands reversed, and then the Knight of Cups, the Knight is upright. The King of Wands is reversed here, but the Knight of Wands and Knight of Cups are both upright here, which is representing the red and green. And this is where the Magician comes up, where he says, look, Ma, I found it. Where he found his magic DNA strand. And that came up in the read today. So we'll get to that again when I do the read. So at 10:50, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 10 of Cups, the emotional fulfillment, the happiness of the happy family or happy ending, he found his DNA strand, or he found the entry wound that collapses all others, the beginning of time when the divine masculine was Christed. So what does that mean? Adam walked the earth as a human on Eve. Christ mass dawning. Okay, so it's saying basically when Eve ate the apple and Adam and Eve had sex, Adam walked the earth as a human on Eve, right, after he had sex, Christ mass dawning. Christmas Eve to Christmas morning. The dawning of the age of Aquarius. And Spirit's connecting with me this whole time. And then Aquarius breaks up into Aqua and Rius, or Aqua, Re, and Us. And you'll love the way that breaks up. So Aqua Rius literally means to laugh in the water. Right? So Aqua is the blue-green beautiful water, and Rius is to laugh. It means to play with water or to play in the water. That's what Aquarius means. But it also means more when you bring it into Aqua, Re, and Us. And again, this is bringing us back to Lemuria and the whales and the dolphins. By the way, 2001 was also coming up with the 9/11 to 1/11, which will come up in a second, and the second millennium, which, remember, I'll see all these twos, the ones going to the twos, the ones and nines being the outliers. Those are the polarities coming more to the center as we go to the two of the divine feminine. So found the entry wound, again, in the beginning of time when the divine masculine was Christed, where Adam walked the earth as a human on Eve, Christ mass dawning. Christmas Eve to Christmas morning, and the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So here's the interpretation as Aqua, Re, and Us. Aqua is aqua, right? Aqua's water, and it's that blue-green color. So Aqua, second note, which is Re. So this is all about the Re, and then we end with Us, or US. So Aqua, second note, or the Re, with multiple perspectives, right? Because there's two perspectives here. Perhaps multiple names or aliases, or to look like someone else, aka good face. The Aqua young and new woman or women as a group, eating and pooping, to ride, to acquire, and to absorb, to see, but also sees the thorns and the fish bones caught in sides and deep throats, in the attack of sudden pain, mood, or harsh weather, in need of room, nest, dwelling, building, house, or home, to have a sink instead of sinking in a gentle pool of wine and or drowning, to face the bad and the good weather that may come against them, and yet stand strong as that lighthouse in the storm, accepting their love and warning them what may come. So to make sure to play in the aqua water with us, right? To make the most of the present moment. So this is your definition of Aquarius, okay? I want to read that one more time. It was a lot. This is the definition of Aquarius. Aqua, second note, with multiple perspectives, names, and aliases, to look like, aka, or show good face, the young and new women as a group, eating and pooping, or in other words, living, to ride, to acquire and absorb, to see, but also able to see the thorns and the fish bones caught in the sides and deep throats, the attacks of sudden pain or moods or harsh weather, in need of room, nest, dwelling, building, house or home, to have a sink instead of sinking and drowning, to face the bad and the good weather that may come against them, yet stand strong as a lighthouse in the storm, accepting their love and at the same time warning them what may come, so as to make sure they play in the aqua water with us. So there you go. So 9/11, the beginning of the end, the central sun and the magician, and the end of truth and balance. That was 9/11. Today is the 119, the 11/9, the magician's son, as opposed to the central sun magician, right, the father. Here's the magician's son, our son, and justice of the collective. Both equal 11, 911 equals 11, and 119 equals 11. Collapsing the polarities between the two becomes 11/11, which is coming up in 2 days, or 22, which is the Fool's Journey, taking a leap of faith with an open heart, that quantum leap. The Fool's Journey, it's like this is the official open gate of the Fool's Journey as opposed to the Wounded Warrior Journey, which is the 3D. The Fool's Journey, Aquarius, right, saying to come play in the water with us, ending the Wounded Warrior's path. The Wounded Warrior, or the World Wars 1 and 2, the Wounded Warriors 1 and 2, the Magician and the High Priestess, where 3, you jump in a quantum leap with an open heart beat. Collapsing duality, pulling the sword from the stone, Excalibur, from the false light, the physical red heart, and then the green, etheric, diamond, emerald order of the first and second degree, the magician and the holder of his secrets, the magician and the high priestess, alchemizing joy and empowerment, the Holy Grail, or Grail is God's train. Alchemizing joy and empowerment, the Holy Grail, or God's train. Review and reflect, set your boundaries daily, and go forth and conquer your fears. So the message of the day that came right after this was at 11:27 to 28 was when I started this. And as I was shuffling, I saw the fox right away, and he stuck in my mind's eye while I was shuffling. So I closed my eyes to meditate to see what was coming up. And as soon as I opened my eyes, the mouse was there. And it was so interesting yesterday because in some of the decks, they were stacked together. The mouse looked exactly like a mini fox, like me and mini me. So the fox and the mouse came up. And the fox is the sly one, but very loyal. And then the mouse is one who can be nervous, right? They could have anxiety issues. So as soon as the first cards came out, I got smooth as silk. Like it was so silky the way the cards just came right out. At 11:28, which is justice or truth and balance, and the 28 of the choice of path, or the twin flames, which again is coming up as the wounded warrior, which we're not in the wounded warrior's journey anymore, right? That's the fire journey. We're now in the Fool journey, which isn't about, it's not about the passion anymore, because passion is a very 3D energy. Inspiration is not 3D, but passion is inspiration plus ego. So smooth as silk as these first cards come out, and then the butterfly, the turtle, and the stingray. Okay, so remember that they're saying at 2001 was like the beginning of the end. The second millennium, and you notice all the 2s here. So the second millennium is all about the feminine, whereas the first millennium was the masculine energy and the wounded warrior's journey. So going from the 9/11 to 119, so 2001 to the present, 2021, 20 years later, so there's that 2020 hindsight coming up again. The message of the day here was 11:28 to 11:34, which is the twin flames or choice of path, to the 34 of the 8 of wands, the arrows of love, and the energetic exchange. The underlying energies of the elephant, the flowers, the 5 of cups reversed, and the change. Okay, those were the, so yes, and then the first 3 cards out, I told you, the butterfly, the turtle, and the stingray, but we're doing the underlying energy first. So the underlying energy with the elephant, the flowers, the 5 of cups reversed, and change. And as soon as I put that down, I was getting, here they come, walking down the street, right? So the monkeys were coming up, hey, hey for the monkeys, but it wasn't the monkeys. It was the elephant's energy of stampeding, clearing with each step with their flame and trunk, and red eye or red mark on their head showing a laser target and target practice. The hermit with flowers or gifts for the Queen of Swords, or is her, getting over loss, regret, and the past with the hermit changes and completions, perhaps the collective consciousness or a carbon copy, and compassion, or new cars, new homes, or travel and roaming. You may not be sure if they're all paying attention, whether they're listening or not, as they are exhausted, they're stunned, they're paralyzed, they're fuming, they're landing, nesting, denying, and webbing, or denning, or being fish out of water, but they are listening. The horse, zebra, and elephant are coming up as the ones coming down the street. And I have to show you the 3 of them together because they make such a powerful statement. Let me just pull them out for you guys because that was really cool. Oh, here they are. Okay. So this is the way those 3 cards came out, like so powerful. Here they come, walking down the street. Okay, so you feel that energy of how powerful they are. And you see that this is like the Mr. Ed and the Mrs. with stripes. And who are they bringing along with them? Okay, so this is where we're going. Okay, so very powerful coming down the street. And you're not sure if all the masculines is what they're coming up, the collective consciousness awakening, if they're actually paying attention, but they are. The horse, the zebra, and the elephant, here they come walking down the street to a neighborhood near you. Mr. Ed, his lovely partner with stripes and beautiful eyes, and the baby elephant whose tusk was broken, or a hose to cool them down on the scent of a woman. They will know it when they smell it, feel it, and see it. All 3 with different kinds of ears in hearing it. They hear differently, and with different third eye abilities. 3D, 5D, and the red mark where the unicorn horn used to be in that elephant, but they poached that too. The hosed elephant and elephant sanctuaries were coming up here as well. The elephant play with hoses too, and that could be horses or hose, but the horse comes up as the ho-sees. So this is the hoses. The elephants play with hose too. And again, that's referencing the Mary Magdalene. They're making a fun of it so people don't take it so seriously. So the horsies is the ho-seeing, zebra, or the bra, or zebrail. And again, I watched a movie all about, it was awful. I can't think of the name of the movie. It was in, I don't know if it was Japanese, in an Asian or Japanese language. So it did have subtitles. And it was a good movie, but it was very difficult to watch because it was about the abuse of deaf children. It was about the abuse of deaf children, right, in a home for deaf children by the people who owned the home. It was a really good movie, though. If you can handle watching that, I would watch it. So again, here comes up the things needed for deaf children, right? This is a braille. They need to be able to understand things too. Unless there's subtitles under something, they can't. If you're just talking, they can't hear it. If they're lucky, they can read your lips. But unless there's subtitles, they don't have benefit of that. The deaf and the blind with strong ESP abilities and really strong sense of smell and intuitive knowing. So they have lots of talents, right? Because their other senses are really expanded. Put on the text for the deaf. The blind can hear. And again, for the blind, what do they need to be able to get by? Pay more attention to what all of our humans need in order to live an abundant life. At 11:54, which makes me think of my cousin because she works in Florida with, I forget if it's a school for the blind or the deaf or both, but anyway, she's doing that wonderful work with these children. Putting on the text for the deaf, and so the blind can hear. the wise community of birds with the key to unity consciousness and stability of the home, and the Emperor and the Empress is travel, space travel, or just clearing challenges and mountains where there is no water to float your boat. The key to freedom and coming together with flowers or gifts for hermit or traveling to the hermit to access their gifts. The divine feminine at the E tower and the divine masculine working it out. The King of Cups ending pain for bliss with the Queen of Swords, right? She's the war widow, with pink and orange flowers and a card, or with a card. Good news coming in to end the war on homelessness, injuries, illnesses, the hungry, and helplessness overall. Offering a new life, time, money, and effort with an imp, perhaps, at home with bunnies, or to build one together. The truth is out. The pen is mightier than the sword, dropping the juggling act to breathe and break the cycle of a sister or subtle or suffering in silence, or the sister act and getting over the loss, regret, and the past dark birds. The main female or high priestess here, and the patient angel, with a message of concern about romantic little girl, or perhaps someone turning 18, which I definitely know a few people turning 18. There are people with children turning 18. But this could be coming up of a romantic little girl or an 18-year-old of a main male taking care of an old man, or bad health, or perhaps someone doing work like that, taking care of the elderly, or perhaps blind or deaf children, or healthcare concerns here, and perhaps finally got a parent into a facility, perhaps with unexpected income at 12-11, the Hanging Man and the 11 of Justice, Truth and Balance, and 12-12 of perhaps two hanging out together to see new perspectives on things, or incoming changes and new passion for a home, car, or travel, or main female with room when they get message from a little girl and the main male. The elephant never forgets with gifts or the scent of a vehicle that had her in it, or bringing gifts to wash away the past and bring with them the changes for a completely new life. The first section here is the butterfly, the turtle, and the stingray with new wings, still a little bit unsteady or wobbly as the turtle is slow in the dark. Perhaps they don't see well. So even if you do see, maybe you don't see well. Like I can't read anything without my glasses. The turtle's slow in the dark and gets plugged in and turned on, activated by the vulture, or perhaps that's an old eagle, like the moth to the flame. The butterfly high priestess, or with secrets and psychic abilities, with luck of the Irish, or nature wishes. Completed a huge cycle here, with the man suddenly thinking of a woman, the turtle Knight of Wands committed to the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, with loss and or dysfunction here, with an official person on the fool's journey, the stingray opening its wings, and electric with wise counsel, or coupling, which is more electricity kind of terminology, the stingray opening its wings, and electric with wise counsel, or coupling of grounding and flying, and drained by marriage, or in need of sunshine, vacation, and or abundant marriage here. Someone's thinking of making it official. There ain't no sunshine when she's gone. The second section here is the vulture and the moth, inspired to write, or inspired by messages, mail, documents, official documents, or communication, to let it all go, to make amends or fix things with false person or couple, or the masked dance between a man and a woman. As the moth is drawn to the flame, but destined to cut out the crap and not take any, being the patient angel and a higher love in a courtship of the emperor. The third section here is the shark right behind the lizard as the bat takes off into space or lost in space, or the shark's morphing abilities here of being able to morph into a lizard and then into a bat. The dolphin as a bear, also the positive energy, also being able to morph from a dolphin to a bear, and the dragonfly too, where two are beating as one heart, and the illusion of the mind with graceful gazelle on the serendipitous eye of the dragon on her. The shark expanding and freeing or changing the family, the day the music died, with the mature worldly man and the lizard and the power man with a choice to make about the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, expecting or feels the changes a coming in, both at 28, or the twin flame choice of path, with the Knight of Swords between, or the messenger, and then linked in was coming up, but perhaps not. The bad exposing powers and towers off planet, with the High Priestess floating in her knowing with the greatest of ease, and Cirque du Soleil, and a message about a vehicle. And then my mailman showed up right there. So the vehicle, again, whatever gets you inside, right? Does the mail get you inside the situation? Does getting hired to a job get you inside the group situation so you can heal it from within? That at 1233, which is the hangman and the Christ vibration, the message of infiltration. And I was getting clear, like, after shocking someone, all clear, or clear, and then clearing everything, clearing the energy so that you can shock someone. The friendly dolphin coming in here, inspired to crack codes with the King of Pentacles reversed, and the Queen of Cups, slave labor, or perhaps feels safe in this unbalanced relationship here. At 1241, which is the hanging man and the new love or self-love, the bear is on fox chase of a higher love, with patience and balance and ending pain, or left for dead on the journey of despair, or the pair, a bear of a higher calling, the dragonfly hearts and butterfly lashes on gossamer wings, in abundant energetic exchange, or arrows of love, falling into perhaps an early grave, or perhaps worrying about that, or embarrassed self at a funeral, or lacking faith after death, falling on face or from grace in death, or an exposing of a death, or the death notice or obituary that was written in serendipity for a man in serendipity, foretelling his death before his time. And that was a great speech too in the movie. If you've never watched Serendipity, you must watch. The graceful gazelle on the journey of subconscious and mid-cycles, focusing on the moon cycles, the shadow and those times of the month. But I wrote moth by accident, right? And the moth being drawn to the flame. What times of the month do you feel out of control in that way? Or imprisoned, right? And that can be the woman's cycles as well. From mid-moon to full moon, bloating and imprisoned in each present moment, and finding the gift within it instead. The dragon's eye, unlike others, looks deep into the soul of the wounded warrior, and cutting cords with lover imprisoned, or Queen of Wands here, the deeper self, cutting away the ball and chain, or anything that's weighing them down, right? The chains that bind. The divine love versus the thief, catch me if you can, versus to catch a thief, right? Which do you really want in your energy? The family moving with the workplace to crack codes at fox chase at 111 here, the magician and justice, or truth and balance, for energetic exchange or hours of love of abundance on a subconscious journey without anchors of the wounded warrior, leaving the wounded warrior behind, holding back an announcement, the Knight of Swords and the High Priestess messenger, and floating on air, stretching to release, like the arch of the crescent or new moon, with the King of Pentacles reversed in pain or betrayal, or getting a massage after they fell at night, not seeing well, blinded by divine lover. The mature man of the world looking at the globe, and the lady in waiting looking inside and looking at nature and sunshine outside, two perspectives of the same thing, two sides of the same coin, with message or call, the vehicle of infiltration, ascension from within, the Queen of Cups working hard as the man on the journey of despair is exposing death and ending and prison time, and a thief. The Hierophant choosing the path to drive to the Queen of Cups about a journey and expose gifts or presents of the Queen of Wands thief at 120, which is the magician and judgment. And I was whistling there too. So, and I was just getting the message too, this could be someone who stole his innocence when he was a child. And maybe someone who's still in their life. And it's kind of like 50 Shades of Grey, like that relationship in 50 Shades. That the woman he lost his virginity to was an older woman who was still in his life. I was just getting that energy coming up. So the fourth section here is the twin flames, the path of the wounded warrior, and the issues at work or play of ghosting, stealing, westerns, or out the back jack, gypsies, tramps, and thieves, and knowing and keeping to self for peace of mind, or so they don't have to deal with it, and the depression around it. The King of Cups, impoverished boy on the journey, or this can be an orphan, wounded warrior, kneeling down to the wise, privileged lady, milady, Lancelot, she with wealthy man in transition. So then now Camelot's coming up. At 123, 1, 2, 3, jump, there's the quantum leap, with the Knight of Cups in the community of the mature woman. This is Lancelot coming into Arthur and Guinevere's community of the kingdom in Camelot. So they welcome him in, the house or home for children, wayward children, right, the orphan, or the big house, or halfway house, or flop house, or the happiness hotel, or perhaps the psycho house, or you're visiting the studios. There's a boy on the path, the wounded warrior kneeling to the privileged lady, milady, with issues at work with the wealthy man, Lancelot, Guinevere, and King Arthur. The liar, cheater, thief, right, because Arthur doesn't know his true intentions, taken in by the community and loved by them, but staying to be near her, or unaware of the depression here between the dark mother and a son of the. This also is the energy of the woman who takes in children for money from the state, to take in temporary children just so they get money. It's not really to take care of the children, and then abuses them. Perhaps Arthur died fighting a good fight and betrothing his kingdom to Sir Lancelot and his wife or daughter, or the queen mother is coming up here too, or an older woman, or mother unaware of her precious son's wife has a lover on the side, or a child coming to live with them that he didn't know existed. That could be that she didn't know existed as well. Perhaps if the masculine had a child with someone he never knew about. But also could be his partner who had a child perhaps when she was young. Maybe, someone as a teenager gave up a child for adoption that ends up coming back to live with them. So this is at 132, which is the Magician and the Journey. So that was the first two messages. So I have one more message, and then we're going to get right into the union energy. All right, so this last message of the day was yesterday at 12:14 to 17, which is the Hanging Man, the Temperance card, and then the Star, which is also dreams coming true. The underlying energy was the Buffalo, the Ring, the Six of Cups, the loving children, and the message. Well-grounded and heavily committed to children with a message. The collective awakening in the teacher comes about the reptiles and crocodiles and the eagles who fight with the buffalo, who are strong for the children. The fox leaves the high priestess with her 4-leaf clover for a higher love of the hermit with gifts, a stable home, and wise counsel, with the Knight of Wands in the circle of trust, and the fox between plants that flower and flowers that get cut, and yet still seem to bloom, at the stable home of wise old birds, 12 to 25. That commitment takes more than just 24, which for me is like the end of a cycle. It's Omega. It takes 25, not just 24. So it takes more than 100%. From rejection to left for dead, uncomfortable, unable to leave, now synchronicities and choices, and the Knight of Pentacles, loyal, humble servant of the children. The man with sudden thoughts of a woman. The main male magician in conflicts with poor health, perhaps of a mature man of the world, and lady in wait at 28 for a message to come. The first section here is the crossroads of the anxious, the independent, and the hardworking, over the golden egg, which is also the heart, the child. The unicorn, protecting the swans, reflecting the choice of the snake and the apples. Pick your poison. the vehicle of infiltration of the home of the main female, the mouse conflicted by exposure of the truth to patient angel with a message of concern, the independent camel and the power man, twin flame, or perhaps another power man, resisting sudden changes in the courtship of the emperor and control in the home. Busy bear exposing towers and powers, or this is busy beaver rather, the busy beaver exposing towers and powers that leave people out in the cold to die and could care less, the golden egg, the nest egg, the dream of unity and liberty and freedom of speech, but stifled by official fools at 12:43, hanging out and coming together perhaps because of how it looks, right? With an official or someone in power because it's a good connection. The unicorn disguised as the jackal. Shh. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Dancing and dissatisfied and imprisoned at present, but perhaps a gift in disguise. Swans on the fool's journey to open doors and share with orphans and blind men, with number 37, which is unconditional love. The second section here is the shark, the worm, and the frog. The shark attacks the newbie worm, hiding their light because they're intimidated by them, and the frog turning their back, afraid to look. The shark is polarized shadow, the pushy mama or powers that be, free to leap and dance the dance of the false person or thief. The worm-loving lady present, intimidated easily, with post-war looting and stealing with thieves and the Queen of Wands. The frog, a child, or with Empress and 1 to 2 children in transition, and 18, now going out among the world of masks and thieves. The Fool and the Empress post-war, or mother and daughter, are the scam artist team. The third section here is the zebra and fox, all seeing and all see, right? The zebra, who's all seeing here, and then the fox that everyone sees because they're foxy. The zebra navigating the labyrinth, the onion, the traffic, the confusion, to get to the center and come together with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, or the world at large, of dysfunction or loss, and the man on the journey of despair, or the pair. The fox trots with Minnie Mouse, looks an awful lot like him here. Here's where the mouse looks like the fox. The King of Wands, so again, this is relating a child to a father, perhaps, or a mother. The fox trots with Minnie Mouse, looks an awful lot like him, and this can be the twins coming together as well. The King of Wands, annoying to fox, or that is him, perhaps he's annoying to himself, drained or sick of distant horizons. And then horizons was coming up as the hoe, rise on. Flying ships with no water to anchor into, Atlas and the weight of the world, nothing to float their boat. And the fourth section here was the starfish, the bear, the phoenix, the dragonfly, and the elk. The superficial starfish and the bear market, rising from the ashes with pulsing hearts and the illusions of the mind, the fire of the antlers and forest fires, Smokey the bear, rising from ashes with the dragon fires, water hoses trying to stomp the forest fires out. It's like the elephants are the trunks of the water coming in to put out the dragon fires here. The starfish inspired by the letter of communication, document, or writing, and the devil on fire, the wealthy man in transition. The bear with wise group of social birds, starting over in adjudication of the union. And that could be a State of the Union address as well. The phoenix with breakthrough, breaking contracts with government, which a lot of states have been doing, and Phoenix or Arizona could be one. And then the King of Wands lover, filing for divorce or break from religion and or establishment here. The dragonfly on the magic adventure to find their way out of their chains. Destined journey at 104, the magician and the emperor. The elk or the oak in the mountains. Complete elk challenged by the prisoner Queen of Cups of 38, or perhaps their hard time or the hard time that they gave them. Okay, so now we can go back to the union and the twin flame read. So this was done at 6:03 p.m. last night. I'll put the light on for these two. So the physical union for 3D, 4D, 5D at 603, which is referencing the 369 energy. 9 is like the infinity, right? Because it's the 99999, which is forever. The 6 of Swords is the underlying energy, the 8 of Pentacles in the middle, and the 3 of Cups at the end. Yeah, okay, so the incoming Divine Feminine here is the 4 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, and Karma. Grounding and integrating and mastering, rough waters, alone, looking up, or looking for a home or union or a wake-up call, needing peace perhaps to start over with a home or announcement, or making calls and or decisions here. In the 3D is the 10 of Wands, the King of Wands, and the 7 of Cups. The Divine Feminine burdened, leaving the wounded warrior behind, right? Because we're no longer in the old energies. We're in Aquarius now, which is the Fool's Journey. Burdened by the wounded warrior behind. But again, remember that density and dimension are a little bit different, right? We fluctuate through the dimensions all the time. You know, you can go up to a very high dimension when we're channeling certain things and then come back to the 3D to have to do something 3D. But in the densities, we're just starting out the 4th density. And the 4th density lasts a long, long time. So we're not leaving the 4th density right now. We're always going to be in that 4th density in this human lifetime. So just so you understand that, okay? So the Divine Feminine burdened and leaving that wounded warrior energy behind of the old, the dark to the light, as the Divine Masculine is climbing the stairway to heaven, the circular steps or 7-step program of light, bridging the King of Wands with the Sun at their left back or the feminine side, or the Leo shaman, or perhaps leaving behind a Leo shaman or fire sign. The 4D here is the 10 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords, which is that risk card or liar, cheater, thief card. In this deck, it's much more about passing downloads, though. The Divine Feminine ending pain or in a painful end, ending to all pain and burdens here. The Divine Masculine taking a risk, passing information, or the Kaplunk game, bridging with alignment or lining steps with crystals. The 5D here is Justice and the Queen of Wands and the Star. The Divine Feminine, Divine Justice at 0 point, dumping a load in bliss at the point of no return, which is that 0 point. The Divine Masculine, Rockstar Healer, Galactic Egyptian, bridging with the Queen of Wands, all hands on board, not sure what she's up to. The outgoing Divine Masculine here is the 2 of Pentacles, the 6 of Wands, and the King of Cups. Surrendering to all that is, holding flame and leading the way to the King of Cups, which is unconditional love and joy of coming together. The Divine Feminine with no burdens, only bliss and justice for all. And the Divine Masculine is circling up to the E-Tower steps, leaving a gift while receiving downloads with 2 men watching their dreams come true. The bridge of the 3D, King of Wands, and the Queen of Wands surrounding or causing drama at the E-Tower, and the Divine Feminine here with Aquarius and Libra on her side, as I explained Aquarius today, and the Masculine with Aquarius on his side too, with the King of Cups and unconditional love. Between the Masculine and Feminine are the King and Queen of Wands because they're coming up in ego. The overall number for this read was 67, which is the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant. And the horizontal pillars came up to 9, 25, and 33, which is the Hermit, the Knight of Wands, which today is the 33 of the 7 of Wands, which is the Christ energy and standing up for oneself without being triggered, without a fight. The vertical pillars are 10, 4, which is message received, but also the 10 of high vibration and the wheel, the 4 of the Emperor, 0, which is source or space for me, the 20 of Judgment, 8 of Strength, or the dance and manifestation, the 14 of the Temperance card, the 2 of the High Priestess, the 6 of the Lovers, and the 3 of the Empress here. And the messages came up as, well, first, 4 of the CCC, and the 4 can be stability or control or the Emperor energy. The 4 of the CCC, remember the 4th quarter is also the Godhead energy on the other side. We're a world of 3s because the 4th quarter is on the other side of the veil. The Four of C, see with your eyes, your heart and emotions, with the C of the Christ or unity consciousness. And also the four of the flame, fluidness, or Florida perhaps, which has all the keys. And the karma, the two of Christ, the lovers. The six of flames, the lovers of the flames, going to the King of Cups, which is the unconditional love, going from the wounded warrior on the pathway to the fool, taking a leap of faith with an open heart, to unconditional love of the King of Cups at the end. So the message here is about the Hermit and the Knight of Wands standing up to the Knight of Pentacles. So the Hermit could be someone, could be a Virgo energy with fire in their chart, or really motivated right now to stand up to the Knight of Pentacles, the humble, loyal servant. And then we have the destined Page of Cups, that innocent energy, but the Emperor comes up here too. And they come up a lot together as the Emperor and his inner child, the innocent Page of Cups. So the destined Page of Cups, or the Emperor, whichever you choose, with judgment and strength to be patient with the High Priestess lover or Page of Wands, and the Empress and Knight of Pentacles. So it's this play between the Emperor energy and the Empress energy and their inner children. But the Emperor, the man, is coming up with the inner child as the Page of Cups, the really sweet, innocent one, whereas the feminine is coming up with the Page of Wands as the inner child, you know, the more impish one. So that was interesting. And then the Emperor was space to decide, dancing with a higher love. The High Priestess, perhaps ending suffering in silence, or trying to end the nightmare as the Knight of Pentacles, right? Being the loyal, humble servant. But that could also be dealing with a sister, or somebody has a secret sister. I was just getting, what are they called in sororities? Like, you know, little sisters and stuff like that. That could be coming up too. But big brothers, big sisters is coming up as well. So as sisters don't have to be blood related in that kind of sense. So we have this read in front of you now, which is the Twin Flame read. And this was done at 7:02, the Chariot and the High Priestess. And at 7:11, F Forbes came up. So it could be F Orbs, and Orbs is thoughts and words, but also blind men and orphans. So who would say that to them, except for the people who were abusing them in the movie I watched last night. But F is expanding and contracting, or staying in the middle instead and reflecting thoughts and words, blind men and orphans. And then we also had Iron Mint come up. So that can have to do with iron work, or the Iron Man, who's now coming into his feminine and toggling up, right? Can you imagine the Iron Man opening up to his feminine? At 7:11, the Chariot and Justice, which is truth and balance. The completion here was at 7:27, which is a smaller plane, right, than the 7:47. The 7 of the Chariot, the 27 of the Ace of Wands. And then the Indigo, which is the Magician, reflection, that's a young magician, the reflection energy of the Hermit, and then the Tower are the main energies here. So that's Gemini or Virgo, and then Scorpio are the main energies in this read. The underlying energy had the solar deity, or the sun and the star, and then after the read were the lovers. So with the sun and the star, we have Leo and Aquarius, and then lovers is Gemini and or the twins. We have two of Wands, 3 Cups, 2 Pentacles, and 1 Sword here. And as far as the numbers, we had triple 5s and triple 3s. The 5s were most significant. So there's a whole lot of change here with 555, which equals 15, which is the devil or the shadow side. And then the triple 3s of 3, 6, 9 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we have the Trinity also in that energy. All right, so we have the angel and the devil in a sense, okay? So they're both as powerful as each other, but the shadow is getting the best here, because the best of the other, because they're the most powerful here. We have the 3, the 56 of the 2 of Swords, 89 again of the Phi energy, expanding and contracting, or staying in the middle and just reflecting. We also have 35 of the energetic exchange, the 8 of Wands, and the 59 of the 5 of Swords, which is that war within, becomes the war without, the moment before which is like getting to that 0 point, right? The nervousness, the anticipation of getting to that point. And let's see what else came up here. 11 came up also, which is justice, which is coming up a lot today. 13 of the transition or death card. 35, I told you the 8 of Wands. 35 is the wounded warrior, not the 8 of Wands. 34 is the 8 of Wands, but they're both coming up here. And then 56, I said, 68 is the Page of Pentacles. And then 9, 10, begin again and again and again. And we had double 9s here too, which is endings, completion, compassion, universal consciousness, and selflessness. And again, the collective and the 9 come up under 99. So Agent 99 also comes up there too. So spying definitely could come up under 9s. But it's, again, the completion cycle. So the message for this read on the code line was about environment and pride. And environment was broken up into ENV and then ironment and then pride. The number was 14, which is the angels. So again, we have that plague of the angels and the devils. And the 14 was coming up from 9 and 5, which was coming up as 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. But this is coming up as 14 now, which is the patient angel taking a step off the beaten path, one step at a time, without shoes on perhaps, right? Blending back and forth and being patient. All about environment, a green environment, and pride. The P and the ride. So the message here was coming up regarding false source energy to the nth degree. And there's a lot about hermit, 2 hermits here reflecting, because there was the 9, so the 9 could be coming up, but also reflection, and the 9 is reflection because 9 is the hermit. So this could be this 2 hermits right here, or the 9 reflection, or reflecting the 9, or that can be the collective consciousness as well as the wise one, or the old man, or the professional. Anything that comes up is the hermit energy. There's 2 of them here. Reflecting, or false source, or, maybe check your sources. Maybe your source isn't right or to the nth degree. With the 9 reflection, or the hermit and the hermit, or reflection, or double reflection, double vision of the ice and the hermit in exile in the Mary Magdalene cave, i.e. the envy without the Y in the road. So the Iron Man, so ENV is also creation of Jesus, but it's envy without the Y in the road. So if you take away the why me in the road and envy, then it takes the power out of envy. And again, we're bringing up the Y again, which is the tree, which is also the Holy Grail. The Iron Men come up here, toggling up in ironment and environment, green environment and pride. So a lot of green guys go into their feminine to do green type of sales and work around that. And also what's coming up here is to photograph damage to the nth degree, or to screw, or to perhaps screwing somebody over, to steal to the nth degree. But again, there's all sorts of ways of photographing these days. So also be careful of that, because you never know what people are putting in your private spaces these days. I noticed somebody on a local group, for the neighborhood type of thing, talking about their little, not a ring, something like a ring camera or something like that, which obviously people can do lots of spying with that kind of stuff. So that's coming up. And then the hermit reflecting the ice cave in exile, or the 9, the collective consciousness, the wise one reflecting the crystal cave is coming up here as well, which if you've never been in a crystal cave, you have to experience that. They're really cool. And i.e. the envy here without the Y, the Iron Men toggling up to let go of their pride, right? There's bad pride and good pride, just like anything else, like the pride of how beautiful your children are, right? Or what a wonderful person they become. That's good pride, right? Where the negative pride is, right, holding on to your ego. But again, green environment and pride coming up here. Or being proud of your green environment, perhaps. And then somebody's 40th is definitely coming up here, because 40th literally is coming up here. With the 9 in the hermit, the collective consciousness, this can be the 40th day and night of the 40 days and 40 nights of the hermit, reflecting the collective consciousness, and then reflecting again, 40 days and 40 nights. How perfect is that? The 9, the collective consciousness, the hermit, the compassion times 2, the double vision. The ice cave, i.e. the environment of pride and being proud of oneself for making it, going through the 40 days and 40 nights. So basically saying, congratulate yourselves, especially the masculines here, for getting through the wounded warrior 40 days and 40 nights to come to the fool's journey, ready to take a leap of faith, to move into unconditional love in the 5D. The indigo upright here is the first card. So it's actually, saying to everyone, be proud of yourself. The indigo energy here at the bottom card, and then the mini cards on top, is the underlying energy, and beneath it, from the bottom up, was solar deity or the sun. The star was reversed, 4 of cups reversed, the 3 of wands upright, and the ace of swords upright here. The sun, the energy, full energy, exposing all, in need of hope to start over, being present to the truth, or perhaps presenting the truth of the indigo magician, perhaps a child, or acting like a child because they're magic inside. At 8:07, I felt a what? Oh, so at 8:07 right here, I felt a clearing leave my body. So at 8:07 is the manifestation of your dreams, but also having strength, inner and outer strength, manifesting. The dance of the masculine and the feminine, and the 7 of the chariot, the vehicle of ascension, the vehicle of infiltration to get within in order to clear like the bacteria into the pearl. Proposing to manifest the new passion in one direction and the truth in another. At night or by Cancer or by the full moon, starting over with a gift of truth that's just below the surface and ready to play ball. The indigo receiving big passionate offer by Cancer or at night or at the full moon, and then telling the truth to third party at day or sunshine, kids, pets, Leo and sovereign, or night and day deals in trading. It's like someone saying, well, yeah, it's night and day nonstop, trading sex for love and truth for money. That's life, right? Somebody could just be saying that sex as a third party and yet truth as a sovereign, or they could be saying someone contradicting themselves. And then the Page of Cups upright and the King of Pentacles upright with the Knight of Swords reversed and the Empress reversed, who may be uncomfortable dealing with their emotions or the emotions of the Queen of Swords reversed. With the Empress there. The Empress would be uncomfortable dealing with the emotions of the Queen of Swords reversed. The Page of Cups and King of Pentacles are upright over there. And that could be innocent love of the King of Pentacles. So conflicted, this is also someone who could feel conflicted. Maybe they don't trust someone here, that it's a trap, or they want to imprison them. Mortally wounded, and that's the Queen of Swords reversed, after the battle goes on, in a flash mob, perhaps in the basement, and a cuddle bench by the fire. It's like someone imagining what they could do with the place. A flash mob in the basement, which is funny because I just had my basement cleared out because of the flood from my water heater. And then a cuddle bench by the fire with blankets. And then I was getting, if I ever get out of here. So someone thinking of what they could do if they ever get out of here. Which made me think of, too, what I used to think of when I was still working. The home with the Knight of Cups upright, the Page of Cups upright, and the Page of Pentacles who's reversed. Perhaps the Knight of Cups offering love to the Page of Cups, which can be siblings or just innocent water signs. And the Page of Cups is offering it back in return or paying it forward to the Page of Pentacles reversed, who's in need of help with their homework, money, or opportunity. Giddy up by the mountains or on solid ground by the sea, in need of help to spread the message of love from the union space, from sea to shining sea. And this could be the one, along with deception, comes up here beneath it. So after deception, this could be the one. And that's weird. A truck just went by, and as I looked up really quick, I just noticed CAM on the truck, which is cam, like I was just talking about the secret cams. So that could be coming up for someone. 823 is the dance of the 8, and the 23 of the King of Wands. The destiny of X, or girls showing off. So that could be X-rated girly shows as well, as I'm looking at it. The destiny of X, or girls show off, right? And this could be like, what is the expression I'm trying to think of? But anyway, it's like the all-girls show. Or just the girls, you know, this could be a partner or children showing off. But this is coming up as the X. The destiny of the X, but the X can also be the twins falling together in the dance. So the destiny of the X, or the feminine, right, as the X chromosome, or the girls showing off. The devil no longer castrated, trying to mark their territory, detoxing chaos, codependency, and addictions. Of Libra upright and Capricorn reversed, and the Queen of Cups clinging to the King of Wands' affection. In a high vibe detox for the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands, perhaps with Scorpio reversed, getting in the middle of it, or the never-ending story between them. Someone might be warning someone you shouldn't be wearing bare feet by the scythe, right? That's not a good idea. And this could be someone with bare feet at work, making sure they put boots on the next time they try archery, so someone might have cut themselves, or in an environment with machines where you shouldn't be wearing bare feet, or getting out of that job if you don't want to wear shoes. Libra upright and Capricorn reversed with Scorpio reversed here. And compassion with 99 and Agent 99 coming up here. There's a lot of spy energy coming into this read. And having compassion for Get Smart, right? Even though he was always being a pain in the butt. And then underneath that, rebirth, which is 16, which is those sudden events or explosions, eruptions, or epiphanies, or a sexual exchange. The Empress with truth of the injustice of choosing the path. With the world upside down, or the divine feminine in 5D, or perhaps a Pisces reversed, and the Hermit reversed going crazy, or now coming out, present to the Viking ship sailing away. I was just getting the song Sailing too. Sailing away, sail, it takes me away to where I'm always. After eating Chinese, grass or wheatgrass, Taurus upright, Libra reversed, Pisces reversed, and Virgo reversed here. With the Hermit. Off the wall, in another world, foot stuck in a socket, or losing their mind, and this could be somebody describing somebody else. Shipping and receiving, imports and exports, and British, Nordic, Vikings, and Chinese, and Eurasia coming up. Taurus, the ringleader here. With Libra upright, I think. Or it could be reversed. Let's see here. I think that was reversed. Libra is both upright and reversed in this read. So Pisces reversed, Virgo reversed under their thumb with the Taurus ringleader here. And right there, oh yeah, Libra was reversed here too. So in this situation, it looks like there's a Taurus ringleader, female, and then Libra, Pisces, Virgo all reversed under their thumb, so obviously not happy under their thumb. Present to ship leaving, perhaps not coming back, as Indigo proposing to prisoner in need of help, or the Page of Pentacles reversed, could be a child or student who needs help, or rehab, as that could be a missed opportunity too, or rehab as the King of Wands gives hugs and compassion, perhaps to a child at 840, which is strength in the Page of Cups. The underlying energy of the Knight of Wands upright, the Tower reversed, and the Devil reversed. The Knight of Wands is rushing in to save the day, after causing a sudden event to detox or avoiding a disaster or resisting changes or sudden changes in detoxing chaos, codependencies, and or addictions. Sagittarius is upright, Scorpio and Capricorn are reversed here. And going forward after this read is the energy of getting over guilt and coming clean or cleaning up the act or space, as the Page of Wands reversed is out of control and all over the place, or frustrated and uninspired and yet happy with self, or arrogant and destined with the Queen of Wands reversed to receive a big love offer, or perhaps she's assuming she will, from the King of Wands who's up right here. Perhaps he's losing hope or depressed, or she's assuming he'll just get depressed and come back like he usually does. And the King of Swords, wounded warrior with issues at work. Perhaps the King of Wands and the King of Swords split up to divide and conquer at night. Perhaps the Queen of Wands reversed has 2 kids with addictions like her, and the Knight of Wands in rehab with the Page of Wands now trying to clean up their act and be happy with themselves, while the Queen of Wands reversed assumes the King of Wands will be back offering love to fix her, like so she doesn't have to fix herself. and assuming he needs his dreams to come true through her, that he can't do his dreams without her, while the King of Swords wounded warrior is exhausted by issues at work. With the Queen of Cups upright and the King of Cups reversed, lovers after death or in an unfair settlement, an unhappy family or emotional cycle that's overdue to be done and over, with secret passion or Scorpio reversed and Pisces reversed here at 8:52, the dance of manifestation or strength, and the 52 of the Queen of Swords again, the widow. But she's also an air sign type energy who's all about the intellect and knowledge and integrity if she's upright, but she's reversed here. The recent past here at 8:53 is the Nine of Cups upright of getting your wish or self-satisfaction after sudden events, epiphanies, or sex. Pacifying the beast or working to align with discomfort regarding a soul connection, being free to leap in any direction with the world upside down or from the divine feminine in 5D, or free from Aries upright and Pisces reversed, Taurus reversed, and the Queen of Wands reversed, healing after a death of the Hermit reversed, or someone who's tired of a parent perhaps with dementia and taking care of them, or Scorpio reversed and Virgo reversed, coming clean or still being sneaky a bit. The truth from the sovereign, recovering from exile with the Knight of Cups upright, offering love to them. The foundation here is the Six of Cups reversed in a falling out or a negative past or difficult kids. The King and Queen of Pentacles are both upright here, satisfied, or she is at least happy with self while he leads the way of success or with a reputation to uphold, and perhaps losing sleep and rising above, or awakening to let go and fix, repair, and or make amends, and perhaps expanding here as well. There may be expectations from the Ten of Pentacles reversed family, business, or community of him to follow suit. So whatever he does, he expects the others to pay it forward as well, or repair things that they've done wrong. And that could be in a step program as well, like Alcoholics Anonymous, that kind of thing. 919 is the Hermit and the Sun. The central energy is the Five of Wands upright, of the flames waving in the hot, humid sun, or in concert, announcing or a wake-up call, or calling out the Page of Wands reversed, waiting for their ship to come in, or wasn't in class for roll call, cutting class or school, and or got in a big fight and was sent to the principal's office with their mother reversed, while another was free to go. Aquarius, Aries, and Pisces all upright here, with the Empress or Taurus now reversed, the Queen of Wands reversed as well, with sleepless nights. So they could be teachers and parents and principals as well. But they were upright where the others were reversed before. Now they've switched. So I don't know if it's the same circumstance, but it can be. The challenge being the reflection, the Hermit reversed, or detention, or suspension. Someone might be saying that you're lucky you didn't get expelled. Healing, forgiving, and moving to peace with Atlas and the weight of the world and slave labor, or having to work to pay it off, whatever they did, to make restitution. Perhaps a pain in the ass or a painful ending or betrayal, and reaping rewards of not feeling worthy of something. Healing with peace and hard work and losing their mind, or perhaps a crazy grandparent. And the Queen of Swords reversed, not putting up with any more crap, the Knight of Wands running after her to kick her, or got kicked by a horse. Or someone's trying to do voodoo to hurt someone else, and the Magician's moving to peace, dumping emotional attachments and stuff. Or going out on vacation or out on the ocean to dump multiple loads, or to pee in the ocean if they want to. So obviously someone wasn't allowed to do that before. The Queen of Pentacles is upright with no physical reunion here after sudden jealous rage with the Magician who's hangry and pushed the princess out of bed and then said, "Found it," as they suspected they had stolen it or were hiding something, and starting over with the Knight of Pentacles, offering to help expose Leo, child, or ego, or pet, or offering to walk the dog for a change, and the Page of Swords stepping it up to the plate to detox or break the chains that bind. And now is the Sovereign with conditions for hanging out with unhappy King of Cups reversed and or the Page of Swords reversed, wanting to start a fight, perhaps about a present or gift or cruise that they didn't get or didn't like. at 9:35, the Hermit and the Wounded Warrior. The Queen of Pentacles and Sovereign, which could be her daughter, starting over here at 9:37, the Hermit and the King of Cups. That could be unconditional love as well. And the Sovereign getting over loss and regret. No more fantasizing in energetic exchange and standing up for self in a bold move with the Hierophant or Boss or Marriage, Cancer and Taurus here, flirting, showing off muscles, and or dirty dancing to get them back in after recovering without so much as an olive branch extended by the superhero King of Pentacles, not defending themselves to unwanted advances, especially by X in front of the kids. The King of Pentacles is choosing a new path or giving it an ultimatum here, or on a quest to fight for the right, causing a sister or suffering in silence, sleepless nights, and or stress in the splitting of the bulls, at war protecting the Knight of Pentacles ×2 in a secret passion. Soon here is the Eight of Wands, an energetic exchange, the arrows of love, or a lot of communication or travel, recovering from an emotional cycle of unhappiness or depression, as the Wounded Warrior fighting to the death, while the Queen of Cups is focused on her heart and love, and the Emperor reversed detoxing from a breakup, and with antisocial behavior, hanging out in energetic exchange with the Queen of Cups and the Wounded Warrior at the same time. Twin flames are seeing themselves as the Tower reversed, after a sudden event or avoiding disaster, with news and clarity about destiny of issues at work, with justice or divorce and falling out with a negative past, or kids acting up, or all of the above. Receiving big love from the Knight of Swords holding their tongue, playing hardball, and withholding time, money, and effort in an inequitable relationship. Give your relationship a chance, let your friends help, and calling in your soulmate all came up here for the twins. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Five of Cups reversed, getting over the sadness, stepping it up, getting over it, and someone telling someone, just get to work. Or they may be doing this to themselves with a note to self. Get over the sadness, stepping it up, get over it, and get to work. Note to self. The King of Swords, patient angel, Sagittarius, or with patience or angel, and taking one step at a time off the beaten path at 9:50, the Hermit and the Ten of Cups of emotional fulfillment, happiness, and the challenge being the Five of Pentacles reversed, the Hermit coming out of the Mary Magdalene cave in exile, above the group, but without affection. Environment here and pride, healing the Three of Wands or three-way situation with love but no harp. Healing from the storm, the prisoner of the King of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles ×2, exposing all about taming the beast and walking the dog. The Page of Swords taking a swing at the devil, detoxing the ball and chain, and the Knight of Pentacles offering help over and over again to secret passion, Queen of Cups, who's overwhelmed with love and lover juggling and putting on an act and not giving a crap as long as there's an audience at 9:55, the Hermit and the Truth. The Queen of Cups upright and the King of Cups reversed in a breakup, perhaps after a death or in an ending or unfair settlement, ending unhappy cycle with secret passion. The Indigo is proposing to the Six of Cups reversed, falling out from the past, avoiding disaster and hoping to get over it, and find satisfaction in the pursuit of happiness. Challenged by the Hermit reversed, coming out in energetic exchange, getting over exile, and becoming sovereign. Healing their heartbreak, as the Queen of Cups is exuding love, but without affection, by performing or distracting others from their worries at 9:59, which is the Hermit and the moment before, or the Five of Swords, the war within. Starting over, presenting the Truth to Indigo, getting the wish of the Viking ship sailing, and the Six of Cups reversed, fighting the Sovereign, challenged by the Hermit reversed, perhaps going crazy or being seen as crazy, or just coming out of isolation, or not so suddenly, energetic exchange, and getting over the past, recovering from exile, injury and illness, and a broken heart at 10:01. The Queen of Cups receiving love without physical affection. Okay, and that's just the message, that's just the energy today. So again, a lot of coming up about the children who need homes, children who have disabilities, who need extra guidance and help from people and also remembering that they have a lot of talents that we don't have because of their extrasensory perceptions, because of their lack of senses, whether it's hearing or sight, those kind of things. So let's see now what the spirit animals have to say. What time are we? We're at 1:30 already. Okay. It's 1:29 over here, and the clock is 3:23, which is the Empress and the King of Wands. And over here, the Magician and being present in the moment, or perhaps present with gifts. I just got the Lion and the Tiger. Lions and tigers and bears, or owls. Oh my. So what's coming up? What's our guidance? The summary from the messages of today. Okay, we have the frog here and the mouse, the little guys, and the bottom of the deck is the unicorn watching over them, okay? So again, those who can't do for themselves, right? Because this one may be a nervous Nelly because maybe they can't see in the dark, right? So they don't know if they can come out from underneath the door or not, right? So it's the energy of children with disabilities, how innocent and sweet they are, right? The frog who doesn't have any hopes of becoming a prince because they have some kind of disability, right? Or the mouse have no hopes of coming out of the dark because they're locked in the closet being abused at the facility that they're in. So again, feeling the children here, and then the teacher with 8 arms, and that can be an abusive teacher, right? But it also could be the octopus teacher, who's a wonderful teacher who actually dies when they give birth, like they would die for their children here. And then the moth to the flame, and you know how predators can be like that flame to innocent children, right? Using that sweetness to suck them in, to abuse them. So again, there's that energy of being careful about that. And then the dragonfly of the illusion of the mind, of thoughts, and how you can trick people with that, right? When you're really just looking for 2 hearts to beat as one. And that sweetness of 2 who really love each other. Yeah, then we have these 4 coming up, and they all are kind of matching. Let's see here, yeah. So these are all want to come out together, but I'm going to hold the dolphin aside for a second, okay? But you see how the backgrounds are very similar in all of these. The dragons, the gazelle is very graceful, right, on the Serengeti type of energy, but they're all in these kind of lower chakra system energies. Now there is the dragon here who's bringing it up to the heart and the throat with some blues and greens over here, which is like the being in the solar plexus, like your inner higher self, looking down on you, checking in to make sure everything's okay, to make sure you're at grace and peaceful here. And then we have the little bunny who's really scared of everything, right? Who needs some shelter from the storm, from the cheetah or the cats who may attack them, right? Or use them and suck them in to not be nice. So again, this is that energy of the higher self who needs to protect not only yourself, but the innocent ones who can't protect themselves, like the bunny from the cheetah over here. And then we have the sweet dolphin over here, right? Because the cheetah might act like a dolphin to kind of suck them in, right? Who doesn't love a dolphin? But maybe they're actually a cheetah inside, wanting to get them. So it's all about saving the children today. And being the unicorn, right? The gate holders of the etheric realms in the 5D, being the 5D consciousness that you are in the awakening of the world, where the children are going to need people and places to help them. And then we have the journey of love. Just helping them to know that they're sovereign, they're powerful, and of course they're worthy of time, effort, love, everything. Don't assume that they know that. In the movie last night, it was very much, at the end, they talked about the children after being recovered for a while. Like, what did they notice about the change in their lives? And I think one of the things they said was just that they count too, right? They're not just put aside to be abused, that they count too. They're just like everybody else. Okay, so this came right up. And there's like the womb of Gaia here, right? The Gaia holds all her children, right? So within nothing there is everything. The two of the High Priestess, the feminine energy. Within nothing there is everything, right? So within the feminine there is the masculine, right? You can't birth the human without the mother, right? So take care of your Mother Earth as well as she takes care of all of her children. Devotion to the small, the 32 of the journey. And the mother's energy again here with the cosmic butterfly and transformation, right? When they're just transforming into the butterfly, they need help still because they don't have their, they're not grounded yet. They haven't figured out all the ins and outs yet. They still need help. The cosmic butterfly of the Atlas energy, 36, which is the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's all about the mother and the child and Gaia and her children, the flowers and the animals. They're all Gaia's children. So all about the mother and child. And the bottom of the deck this is my Paul and Linda McCartney picture. This is Linda with her big wide vest that she used to wear, and Paul on their record walking through the storm easily into the vortex in the middle. The dance of the planets, the 56, which is the Two of Swords, being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear so that you can walk through the storm without being affected. Okay. The angel of Jupiter awakening, again, being in two timelines here, don't need to move closer together. It's just as you move forward, these two lanes will merge into one. They'll naturally become each other. There's nothing that you need to do for those lanes to come together there. The rose line that comes together. All lines, right? What's the expression? All rivers come to the same end, or whatever the expression is. The Six of the Lovers, the angel of Jupiter awakening. And Jupiter came up in the die today as the benefit of patience. That's one thing that there isn't too much of, and that's patience and faith. That's the message they're giving me from this card, right? So just keep going, stay in your own lane, keep going. You'll eventually get there. You will naturally merge together, just like any two roads or rivers come together at the delta. Delta dawn, what's that flower you have on? Okay. And we have the Mary Magdalene energy under that too, with the weight of the world on their shoulders. Knowing without knowing is that Two of Swords energy. Being in your knowing, staying in your own lane, having faith with the lover, and keeping your energy clear so that you can walk through any storm together. In the dance of the planets with the Two of Swords, being in your knowing, keeping your energy clear. Okay. All right, so after this, the next card that fell out that I didn't notice right away, after I pulled these two, the breaking came out, which is the King of Pentacles, which you can see is a very different energy, right? So this is when the masculine and feminine smash into each other in the vortex here, right? Everything's all peace and calm in the world of the mother and child. And then all of a sudden, the King of Pentacles walks in, and all hell breaks loose. So you have to be able to, keep your calm in the most crazy of situations here. When the energy gets kind of nuts, knowing how to bring it back to center again in the midst of all that, right? When there's lots of trauma with children, and how not to feed into their pain, right? Because you're going to empath off of how they feel. Knowing how to keep your energy clear and stable for them, because it doesn't help them for you to fall into that kind of energy. That's the message I'm getting from that. But the first card is the number 2. I'm going to read you that one. I'm going to read you the frog too. All right, frog, where are you? The frog says clearing, cleansing, and healing. The frog and the watermelon, the frog, watermelon, I had watermelon yesterday. The frog and the water element are almost inseparable. The frog spends its first months, and I was getting moths again here, which happened twice today, and that never happens. The frog spends its first months of life entirely within its healing element, and then emerges to rest on land. But no matter how earthly the frog becomes, its need for cleansing and rejuvenation is regular. Frogs need to become overworked, frogs or friends, I guess, tend to become overworked and undernourished, so it's vital that such sensitive creatures practice self-care. This card serves as a reminder that water helps us cleanse, forgive, and release. Time to dive in. Frogs aren't meant to carry a heavy load. When in balance, clear energy and enthusiasm for life. When out of balance, you're depleted and running on empty. To bring back into balance, a lake, a river, ocean, or a bathhouse. And remember to drink plenty of fluids as well. All right, within nothing, there is everything. From a point of stillness, a moment, a complete universe is opening up to you, endlessly expanding. Your every thought and intention sends ripples of consciousness through the universe. What a creative being you are. You are sending consciousness into motion, bringing your creation into being. With every inner desire, every whispered wish, the universe receives your yearning and aspirations with open arms, returning them to you as manifestation in your life. What is really in your heart? Open your arms, sigh, speak your heart's truth aloud to the loving universe, and receive it as your destiny manifesting now. This oracle brings a message to you, something that you want's on its way to you. It may seem to be coming out of nowhere, no sign on the horizon to give you hope, yet it is coming to you anyway. It is spiritual law that you cannot be denied the manifestation of your heart's desire. Trust and remain open to the tide of universal love rushing toward you, swelling within you now. The wind moves gently. Through trees, quiet water flows. Life's song calls softly. Make sure you drink your water, get plenty of rest, self-care, your joy in nature. It was just 33 when we ended. And rise and be loved, guys. Speak to you soon.